Nope.
Oh man, I'm experienced in it now.
You've done one.
I'm all over.
You're all over it. You're a pro.
That's 100% more than you though.
Talk me through it.
I've got no water. Do you want any water?
Yeah, actually.
Get hydrated. Ollie does a good coffee.
I'm dying a little bit at the moment. Afterwards, my body's like on.
We're shut down.
I've been trying to fight off like a sinusy thing for a few weeks, and now I've done it. I'm like, my body's just like on the come down.
Yeah, what don't they call it like the marathon flu or something? And obviously you've had marathon and all the other shit before as well. Yeah, so you're not feeling good.
Yeah, just.
What's your body back? Your body battery's terrible anyway normally.
I'm 50 at the moment.
Oh, is it?
Actually, I felt fine from
Just go and train, mate.
Yeah, I generally was going to jump in the class Wednesday night.
Don't be stupid.
I was fine. Generally, my body's fine.
No, you can't.
I did 4 miles on Tuesday on a coastal hike. No problem whatsoever.
Yeah, that probably helped flush everything out. I'll probably just pull that. Just spin it towards you. But yeah, something like that. I think that's going to be better. Yeah, cool.
Sweet.
What are you going to do for recovery this week? You're going to have a week off?
I'm going to train today.
What days? How many days
Nothing
out?
to do with running or cycling.
You've what, 4
days out?
5 days
yes, I don't know. Yeah.
Cool. Well, Scott Perry, welcome to the podcast. Hopefully I've got everything set up and this one goes well. We delivered the first one lefty, so you're the second one in here, so welcome.
Thank you.
And I wanted, so a little bit about Scott. He's a coach at EDC Gym, so our sister gym here, and he's just done an Ironman this weekend, and I've been like trying not to speak to you between now, so I want to hear everything about it for the first time, see how he got on the Ironman. So Scott, give us a little bit about just yourself, what you currently do for work, and like your history to your sort of your fitness and works and things. I think it'll be really interesting for people. And obviously, I'm going to jump into the elephant in the room, which is that big medal over there.
Yeah. So I've been in the Air Force now for 12 years. Work as an exercise rehab instructor. That entails just working alongside physios. Treating injured personnel back to full fitness. So that's my sort of day-to-day job at the moment, full-time. And then obviously part-time working with EDC, coaching CrossFit. I've been with you now a couple of years, which has been absolutely class. Love it. Found that what I want to do now moving forward and roll with that. So always been interested in fitness, always wanted to do fitness, leaving school. Never really wanted to go into further education, wanted to jump straight in and earn some money and do a job that I love within sport. So that's maybe my main.
Yeah, just one about that with the RAF. So obviously you left school. Did you go to college after school?
Did A-levels, got a place at university, and then found this job in the Air Force. My mum came to me one day, she's MOD, and was like, have you heard of this job? Like PTI in the Air Force, you just get to play sport and teach circuits and train. And I was like, sounds amazing.
The dream.
Yeah, so university place was gone. Like, don't worry about that. Yeah, and then straight in, applied. Hockey helped.
Yeah.
So I had a few contacts.
I was going to bring up the hockey thing. So you played hockey at a high level. Yeah. Still do, or you sort of wind
This season, my first season, no club hockey for however many years, like since I was a teenager, so it's been a long road on the hockey front, but a good high level sort of England setup stuff growing up as a kid, teenager, and then blended into club. Started at Cambridge, moved down here with work and got into the local club scene down here and done really well. Now I'm just teetering back, getting on the golf course now. So
easy transition.
Not too bad. Hockey helps, right? Swing a ball, swing a stick, hit a ball. Different swing, but it works. Not too bad.
Little less impact on your body as well.
Absolutely, With all this CrossFit, I know that hockey can't help with the volume loading.
And just give us a heads up on your day-to-day, what it'll be like at your work, doing your sort of rehab. So you joined the RAF as a PTI, you knew you were going to do that. Yes. You spend time as a PTI and then you specialise, is that how you do it? Okay,
yeah, so we join straight up as a PTI. We go to a vetting at RAF Cosford. We do like a week's package where they go, are you good to be a PTI? Test you on your 1.5 mile run. They test you on your sort of presentation skills. They test you on your sporting skills. From that point, then they're like, yep, you're good to go, get you through basic training. So we do the 10 weeks as normal at Holton, learn to be a soldier first, all that stuff, as you know. Yours was maybe a little bit harder than mine.
A little bit longer as
well. A little bit longer. And then from that point, we go to Cosford for a 9-month course, and then we learn all to do with being physical training instructor, so teaching circuits from the ground up. So similar to delivering a CrossFit session here, you start with a warm-up, you deliver 1 million warm-ups over and over again, do 1 million warm-ups, then you blend the warm-up into the main and you do 1 million warm-ups into the main, and then you do the cool-down, and then from there it branches into different stuff. So you're teaching the Olympic lifts, you're teaching like a swimming session, you're teaching sport. So yeah, a whole well-rounded coach is what the RAF want to deliver. And then they put you back into the real world of being on a unit, and you just go forth and go for it. So I started at RAF Honington with the regiment. First few years, I was there for three and a bit years. And I taught the RAF Reg from day 0 all the way through to their graduation. Green skills, tabbing, running, swimming, all of the PT that they're going to require for their day-to-day role.
So this is taking someone who's joined the RAF Reg up from 0 to finishing the course. You're taking them through it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so we deliver that PT aspect. So that day-to-day job was great. There's a bunch of PTIs.
Cool.
Yeah, we'd be teaching all day. If we're not teaching, we're in the gym training. Really, really good training ethos there. Play this sport called murderball in the squash courts. You might have done it before. Who knows?
No, go on.
It's just a 5-6 blokes. It was blokes. We didn't really have any girls working for us at that time. In the squash courts, you get a squash ball. Everyone's got a squash racket, and then it's just take turns hitting it, and then essentially prison rules. You can do what you want. If you're in the way and someone hits you with a ball,
you're in trouble.
Tough
but
luck.
It's like one person hits, the next person, all in the line.
And you just keep going. You get 3 lives. Yeah. When you run out of your lives, you stand at the front of the squash court, protect whatever you need to with a racket in your hands, and then everyone gets 1 shot.
We should be bringing that here.
It's great, yeah. And then you stand at the back and you watch everyone else, and then last 2 in. Luckily, I was quite good at racket sports, so I was most of the time towards the last 2, so I didn't have many people hitting balls at me at the front. But
right, so if you're first out, you've got 5 others.
You've got 5
shots, and then you're out of the game, you sit out and watch the rest.
And then it slowly peters down.
Oh my God. So you got some welts on you from that.
Great game, yeah.
I've never heard of it. That's brilliant. I can't believe I've never heard of that.
We'll have to have a game, yeah. We'll get the coaches in.
I don't know, that'd be pretty painful.
Yeah, so that was good fun at Honington, and then I specialised. So I spent 6 months in the Falklands. That was great, really, really good. And then, come back from the Falklands and went to Stamford Hall, which is our home of rehab for the military. It moved from Headley Court to Stamford Hall. All singing, all dancing facility. We've got everything you would ever need there.
Tri-service?
Tri-service,
yeah.
And you do a 6-month package there to learn anything and everything about rehab. You're taken through your course by some really experienced physios and ERIs. And you learn to pick up a patient from day 1, from seeing a physio to seeing the ERI, and you learn how to diagnose, treat, and then send them back on their way into the wider military to
so the rough people who don't know is if someone gets injured in training, or even if they're already past training in a unit and they're injured, you're going to help them get back to full health so they can go back on operations, basically. Is that roughly?
Exactly that, yeah.
Yeah, and you pick up anything. Someone could be in a car crash on leave, and you're going to rehab those to normal strains and pains people will get from training and exercising to get fitter.
Yeah, exactly.
And then from there, where did you go to?
I went from there to Odium, so local to here. That was our first posting down to Hampshire. Lucy moved down with me, my wife, and we decided that after being here for a little while, this is kind of where we want to be in the country, which is nice. So, I was at Odium, first posting, working in primary care rehab facility, working alongside 3 physios, me being the lone ERI, getting 3 physios referring into me for patients. Was quite busy.
Yeah, cool.
But worked with some really, really cool physios, real good physios, learnt loads in that time frame.
Are the physios RAF, or are they civilian physios?
Mostly civilian, some RAF, yeah.
Okay.
So I was working under the OC of the unit, so the line manager, the boss, tends to be an RAF physio, flight lieutenant mostly, and then we'll have a specialist physio, band 7, who's like the higher clinically trained one, that delivers all of our training in-house, and then we'll tend to be a band 6 physio as well, working with us, more junior physio.
And those were band 6, does that relate to NHS?
Yeah, so all the NHS like clinical bandings all the way through, so we're like ERIs clinically working as like a band 5, first physio bit being as a band 6, and then you've got band 7, band 8 in the physio world. So once you're getting up towards those bits, you've got quite a lot of years of experience. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. And then to where you are now, so you've just moved, you've got Portsmouth, is that right?
Yes, I'm in Portsmouth now. Yeah, I work for a joint hospital group South. That's at Whale Island in Portsmouth, and I work with doctors and nurses that all work at the hospital in Portsmouth. I keep them fit, up and running to deploy. Tri-service again, so I've mainly Army. We've got quite a lot of Army personnel. We've got a small contingent of RAF, and then sort of mediocre Navy amount of personnel, so mainly Army run. And the nurses work day to day on the wards. They're all spread throughout the hospital. We've got doctors, we've got consultants in our unit at the same time. And they come to me for daily circuits to stay fit. They can come to me for some rehab advice, although I'm outside of my current remit as my current post. And then I deliver fitness testing as well for all three services. So that's the main objective of my role at the moment, and to deliver sport and keep morale high. So delivering bingo nights, delivering quizzes, like anything and everything. PTI, red coat, Butland syndrome is currently day to day of just trying to keep everyone happy, flowing, and getting them out the door as fit and as able as they possibly can be. Yeah.
And how long would they be posted there for? For long? Could be there forever? Or?
They bounce around JHGs. So there's one south, there's one in Frimley near here, there's one up north, there's one down in the southwest, there's one central around Birmingham.
Okay.
So
it's not like a training. It's not like a training 12 weeks and they're gone. They're there.
No, they tend to come in from their nursing degrees or their medical degrees, whatever they've done their training. They come into a JHG normally, before then they go out to wider units and go to like the Army Medical Corps, to primary care within the Air Force and things like that. And then the RAF nurses specialise to like the Chinook role or the rotary role where they can do aeromed and things. So it tends to be in a year or two, then they go and learn some other.
Yeah, so a nice length of time to build someone up and, like say, sort of more, I don't say entertaining them, but it is a little bit trying to keep them happy, trying to bring them in and keep them there, rather than the 12-week beat up to someone has to get from position 0 to 100. You have to build them up on that road. Yeah. There's no deviating away from it. Now you can do your own thing.
Yeah, and it's definitely more like civilian based, really. Like I deliver my circuits at work, no military preference whatsoever.
Really?
So the whole premise is I want them to be coming to circuits,
they want to come,
thinking that they're paying for it and they're coming for free and just getting a great circuit. That's how I want to deliver, because they're working hard on the wards every day, especially through the last few years of COVID coming in. Like they're busting a gut to get their job done. Mm-hmm. And then they're going to come down to the gym and I'm going to shout at them military style. They're not going to enjoy it. So my main ethos being at Portsmouth at the moment is give them some enjoyment, make them love phys, make them love strength conditioning, teach them how to lift well, how to manage like injury prevention, and hopefully they can continue and take that throughout the rest of their careers. That's my
I think that's a brilliant way to look at it. At EDC, our banners, we've got educate, aspire and achieve. Like if you can educate someone on training, they can go anywhere they like and they understand like a push, pull and squat, and they can, whatever kit they've got, they can build out a circuit. And like you say, try and encourage them to enjoy training so it's then part of their life. I think if you've done that, you've done your job correctly. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if I said to you that I know I've made it with someone like one of our members. Is like if they go on holiday and they just pack their running shoes. I don't care if they use them. Just some people are like, no way do I train on holiday. Even if they just pack their running shoes in their bag, I'm like, oh, good. We've changed their mindset just slightly. Obviously, later on down the road, hopefully they go for a little jog or whatever, or they do a little circuit somewhere. But I feel like that's the same thing. We're just trying to educate people to adopt fitness into their life, because it's just going to help them later on down the road. For you, obviously, we're probably just looking at the military side of the thing for however long they're in, but for us, it's to people in their 70s and 80s still moving well and, being able to fend off the nursing home. So I like that style you bring. Did people before you have that style of training, or were they still quite military heads?
I think it's normally an RAF role, so I think the way that the RAF coach is very. We get taught VVV, so Vim, Vigor, and Vitality is our thing through
explain
training.
All three. Right? Never heard of that.
So it's all about delivering with passion, always being like moving around the gym, delivering in, out, kind of getting an overview of the whole class and making sure that people are moving well and enjoying their time in the gym. That's what it's about. I don't know whether they still preach that at the school of PT or not.
Sounds very similar to a CrossFit session,
Yeah.
right? You want people to want to come here, to carve out an hour of their day to step into your gym, to enjoy the session, to go home.
Yeah, and I think it's different to the way sometimes some of my army instructors teach.
Sure.
It's very much a bit more strict, a bit more military bearing involved, and I've had a little bit of throwback sometimes in my career that I'm not enough military bearing, and I don't deliver enough strict PT, and I throw it straight back and go, do they want to come to my sessions? Yes. Would they want to come if I delivered like this? Probably not.
100%. Yes,
and that's the way
it's a different
that I
beast,
try to
right? If you were put in front of like a frontline operational unit, you probably wouldn't coach the way you do. You'd change the coaching to
absolutely.
adapt
I
to
did,
the needs.
At Honington with regiment, like I was the most horrible person, shouting in their faces, making them do burpees until they're sick, right? Like that's the way we deliver. Mm-hmm. That's the way they're in the front line. Like they're gonna be in a warfighting zone at some point, delivering that role. They've got to be able to take a little bit of pressure on their PT sessions. The wider Air Force, the nursing contingent, they're just doing a civilian job most of the time. They want to come and enjoy it and respect and get on with the person that's instructing them.
Yeah, I like that. I like to see you can adapt your coaching to the needs, and like you've been coaching with us for like 2 years, and you can see that in the sessions we deliver day to day as well. Not that we're shouting at people, but different types of people in different sessions respond different ways to different coaching. We don't coach every single person the same way. We deliver, let's say someone was lacking on full elbow extension going overhead. For someone who's competitive, you might drop in there, look, you really need to work on that elbow extension for the competition you've got coming up. For someone else who has never done a competition or anything else, you might explain to them, that full range of movement's going to benefit more muscle. We're using more range and potentially using more muscle mass. That's going to, create more adaptation. So it depends who you're talking to. We'll just tweak it, and that goes into like everyday life, right? You need to be able to talk to someone up here and down here and mix it up. What's next for you in a nutshell? Not giving too much away.
Next for me, so I finished my 12-year contract in the military September next year, and I want to come into CrossFit full time. Also starting my own kind of rehab business at the same time. So under the banner of personal training, I'll be taking on clients for one-to-one PT, looking at the whole aspect, but mainly delivering sessions where we're trying to figure out why maybe we're getting some niggles or some pains, trying to keep them training for as long as possible. And as we've already spoke about, like big ethos on, I don't really worry about 1 or 2 years. I'm worrying about what they're like 10 years, 20 years time. Can they move well? Are they still struggling with niggly back or sore knee? Why is that? Is there an imbalance somewhere? That's the stuff that really gets my brain ticking, and to dive into the really nitty-gritty areas of the way the body moves and the way that maybe we're factoring in sleep or nutrition or any of the lifestyle factors at the same time is great. So that's where I want to go with my own personal business within rehab, and then like being part of EDC is massive for me. The community's huge. Coaching here at Wessex as well has been amazing. So just diving in as much as can, get stuck in organising events, as we have done already.
You're a natural.
Some good nights, hopefully some more to come. So yeah, that's kind of the future for me now, moving forward. So military to one side, I've kind of flown the nest as to stay, and I've done what I need to do within the military. There's not really much else for me, and I want to push and deliver what I know I can in civilian world, and for myself and for the gym community here. So
no, it sounds good, and it's been a pleasure like having you on board. What it sort of highlighted to me when you come on board was just it was really nice for me to be able to like offload some pressure I would get as a box owner when someone does come to me. Like, I'm not trained in any niggles or injuries really. I have a rough idea. I can see someone move. I can be like, oh, that looks. But I didn't really have a process. If someone got to a certain level of injury, what to really do with them. It's so nice just having you in my corner. When I literally emailed you this morning saying this person's messaged me, so pass them on to you, and then you can diagnose, meet them, see them, and then the goal for us is to keep them in our community, to let them know that they can still train around injuries. Like, our coaches do a great job at that up to a level, and then after a certain level, it's a bit above our pay scale. To have you there is absolutely amazing, and there's one more thing you've done in the past, which I absolutely love, and it's like every CrossFit gym should have someone doing this, is when you've just sort of seen someone, let's say they've got bicep tendonitis, you give them some drills to do, but you've also then, they get the week's program, and everyone at our gyms gets the week's program, and on a Sunday they can see what they've got for the next week. You then individually program for that guy who's like, okay, any pulling movements, you're going to change that to X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
If someone's got anything wrong with the hips, you're going to change any squat movements. So you literally program for their week. So when they come into the session, they sort of got a rough idea of what they're going to be doing. They know they've got a pull-up, they've got a thrust, a pull-up workout. They know they're not going to be doing any pull-ups. They're going to change it to X, Y, Z, but they still get to keep the thruster part if that suits what you said. So they have this really clear guidance of what they're doing, and they check in with you and get it better. I think that thing is so important. I just wonder, have you thought about how you could scale that to other CrossFit gyms without taking on individually programming for 500 people?
Yeah.
Is there a way? I got no idea.
Yeah, it's definitely something I need to look into. Like, I've had like a good handful of clients now from EDC that I've done that kind of scaling for. And it's been really good, but it's actually quite time consuming to go through weekly programming and then on an individual bias being like, okay, what can they do, what can't they do? And I think the biggest thing, even when I'm coaching and I'm just speaking to members at EDC mainly, they're like, when they're injured, and I know it when I'm injured, like you just sometimes just don't feel like training. It takes all of the fun out of it if you're having to scale everything back and you know what you can do and you can't do it, and like, what's the point in turning up? And I have the conversation all the time with the members, being like, you need to turn up, you need to get the body moving, and you can still do loads. You just need to tweak it a little bit. And I think just having that guidance from me has really helped. Some of them have been like, okay, fine. Like, I know I'm coming in. I know I don't need to bother the coach too much. I'm like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, or I can't do that. Scott's already programmed for me. It's going to be like, you can't squat. Fine, you've got knee pain. No problem. We're just going to hinge today. Or we can work through a deadlift pattern, which almost gets your knee going through a full squat range without loading quads. So knee pain suddenly disappears. And there's loads of different tweaks that we can use. Very similar to like elbows or shoulders at the same time. So thinking of a way to try to offer that out to different gyms and different programming and boxes would be really cool. But yeah, it's very... sometimes I think it's not thought of how much thought and the process goes into each individual client when I'm working on that kind of element.
Yeah, it's huge. Like, if anyone running any sort of gym knows, if you go from no exercise, it's really safe, you're not going to get injured, to training 4 or 5 times a week, the risk of just getting niggles and stuff, I don't want to say injured because that sounds bad, risk of picking up a niggle is going to be exponentially more than doing nothing sat at home, right? So you're going to see these little things, and then how we manage and nurse people through it, and don't not that I don't want to lose them as a member, I don't want them to stop training and break the habit of coming to the gym twice a week, 3 times a week, whatever it may be. So to have you there to help nurse this person through, keep them in their classes and get them out the other side, and they stay with the classes, everything's just this nice flow. And I just feel like every gym really needs someone like you there, or someone along your roles there to do it. I'm unaware of any courses currently. I'm not saying you should build a course, but it could be cool to build a course to educate someone like myself. But you said it was a 9-month course. You said your course it was 9 months. It's a big old course.
It's a long time, and then you've got a long sort of after training package as well to go through, and you're working alongside like very experienced physios at the same time to learn your trade. So like, I think there's an element that would work great, right? Like the basic package of a coach's workshop, to be like, okay, these are generally what we see. We see anterior knee pain, right? Patellar tendonitis. We see Achilles pain. We see rotator cuff. Let's call it rotator cuff pinches or whatever you want to call them, right? Everyone comes up with the name slipped discs, big one. Yeah. No one slips a disc, right? But back pain. Loads of really simple changes we can make in the gym. Really common ones we'll see. And whether they do CrossFit, whether they do triathlon, whatever they do, they play football, you're going to get these injuries. And it's just about adapting the movements and keeping them moving. Movement is medicine. That's what I've always gone to for all of my clients, patients. if they stop moving, they feel worse.
Yeah, for sure.
For people like us, it's horrendous. I broke my collarbone a few years ago, and I was the most miserable person on earth.
I can't imagine you miserable.
I couldn't move. You don't ask the wife about that, and I was not nice to be around. I was like, I can't train, I can't do anything. But like 3 days later, I was sat on a watt bike in a sling in the rehab, like spinning out.
Feeling a bit better.
And my physio came in, who was my boss at the time. Really good personal relationship with him now, and all of my patients, his patients, were in the gym doing their rehab programs as well. And he's like, Scott's like 3 days off breaking his collarbone, sat on a watt bike right now, like just moving.
Yeah,
feels so much better. So that ethos, if we can build that in, is great. And
sure.
the amount of the emails and the questions we get from members saying, "Oh, do I want to cancel? Like, do I need to hold my membership?" Like, absolutely not. Just like, we'll find a way if you just keep moving, keep training. Even if you load one side, it's going to have an adaptive effect on the other side. So there's a plethora of things that we can do to help that individual just keep on their fitness journey. Whether they're a fitness journey from beginner to like just getting started and just want to lose weight, or they want to increase their cardio, whatever that might be, or they're one of our better athletes in the gym and they're looking at prepping for competition, they pick up a niggle. Both trains work exactly the same. We want them to keep moving and whatever habits they have to keep flowing, because if they just stop, for the beginner, that's disastrous.
For sure.
Like, they just go back to old habits and it's very hard to get back into it. Mental health wise, for that person that's higher end, that's a big deal for them. Like, when we can't train, it's horrible.
For sure.
Like, they're not going to lose muscle mass overnight. They're not going to lose their proprioceptive skills.
But I think they will.
They think they will. And that dives in massively, and then they just avoid everything altogether, and then we get that spiral. So it's all about just education.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping, when I have a little bit more spare time, now I've finished the Ironman, a lot of training. I'm hoping to bring some seminars in as well for rehab. I deliver both gyms and give people that like base knowledge on how to program for themselves, what they should be looking at, whether they turn up 7 days a week and smash themselves every day, or do they turn up focusing on 2 sessions that week where they're going to go hard, the rest of them being a movement quality day. All of the basics that you can help yourself to manage your loading and hopefully not pick up injuries and not be with me one-to-one to try to fix it.
So the idea is to avoid you.
That's the idea. It's a terrible business plan, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, like, hopefully I make zero money on anything from clients because they're all fine, they can fix themselves. So yeah, that prehab is the ideal. Even if I can work with people in prehab and go, this is what I want you to do, you're not going to see me for an injury. Great. Accidents happen, injuries happen, right? That's just life. But if we can give people the knowledge, and I think it's a really great bonus of members here at Wessex and EDC being able to lean on that, and we offer that knowledge to them and build that knowledge base, great. I was unaware of how little people know about nutrition, exercise, like sleep, which all a massive factor. So if we can deliver that to our members, that's kind of what I want to do.
Yeah, it's very true. Like, this is our whole life and has been our whole life for 10, 15 years now. And I'm not experienced in what they do for a day-to-day job. So if they're an aircraft technician or whatever they're going to be, I don't know nothing about that. So I shouldn't expect them to know stuff. And sometimes we think that people might know a bit more than they do. So when you strip it down to basics, it's just some things are just glaringly obvious where they need more help. And I love the bit you said about, should I be training hard twice a week compared to 7 times a week? We have this chat consistently, and I try to get it across the members. Like, don't be coming here and smashing yourself up 7 times a week. I don't do that. You don't. Catherine doesn't do that. Like, all the sort of the fitter guys are doing 2 or 3 really hard sessions. The rest are just focusing on movement quality. Just, still working hard for sure, but we're not going full send. Like, those really hard sessions are taking money out in the bank, and you only have a limited amount of money. And the other sessions, the quality sessions, are paying money back into the bank. And if you're on one way or the other, if you don't want to go bankrupt, basically, because that's where we see people start getting those niggles and injuries. And for me as well, if I go OTT, start getting niggles, injuries, or my training sessions start petering off anywhere, then I know I need time to recover to build back up again. Yeah, it's cool hearing all about that and your ethos. And our ethoses really do align really nicely. Like I'm not all about like competitions and driving and pushing. I'm about longevity. I always, my analogy is that low trajectory to a high target. So just nice and smooth progressions in everything. So progressions in your pull-ups, at the same time progressions in your squat, progressions in your cardiovascular, but just slowly just tweaking those and building them up over a long period of time. I see that's the best way, rather than go on like Russian squat program for 8 weeks. Your squat goes up here, but your cardiovascular system down here, and risk of injury just goes up again, right?
Yeah.
Whereas we just gradually get a little bit better at everything and meander our way to a higher position is my real goal on that. Talking about all that stuff, I would ask you what your fitness goals are coming up, or your challenges are, but let's talk about the one you've just done and the reasons for it.